For all of our friends out there in Instagram Live and Facebook Live, thank you for joining us. I want to talk about the fact that so often we overlook the abuse. They say it's 1 in 4. I believe the numbers are more than that. But 1 in 4 has been a victim of some sort of sexual abuse, 1 in 4 women. And we're not even talking about the statistics and the inability for men to be able to come forward and speak the real truth about their abuse, because I'm sure the numbers are equal. And I want to share this piece in particular. I call it Pretty Pray. And I want us to take a collective breath, because I know that that is weighty and heavy, and what we all just took in. If all of us could just breathe together, breathe in. Shake it out. So this piece in particular, I wrote because a friend of mine said I had pretty privilege. And she was like, you've been pretty, we've been friends since we were about 14. And she's like, you've been pretty your whole life. People just do stuff because you're pretty. And so I want to talk to y'all about pretty privilege, because it's a lot that you are privy to when you're pretty. You're pretty. Pray. You will be preyed upon, hunted like game. You will learn to fight off beasts that wish to feast on your flesh before you learn to tie your shoes. Pretty is unripe fruit plucked from the vine. Pretty is steal yourself back every time they take you. It is not being afforded anonymity. You are always noticed. There is no safe space to exist in. Your body will be labeled, carved up, and passed around your mother's dinner table until everyone has had a turn at being the big bad wolf. My, what thick thighs she had. The better to breed her with. A prized possession. Pretty is ugly sometimes. Resting bitch face bars the doors. The best defense is a good offense. You are always on the offense. There are so many things that I want to share with you tonight. I'm taking slices out of this manuscript. I want to talk about endings and death. I spend a lot of time talking about death, doing death work, and on the low, I'm creating an exhibit about death. And I'm super excited about getting people to be more comfortable with the fact that it is a natural part of growth. You have got to be willing to embrace dying to yourself over and over and over again. I cannot tell you how many women I have been. This particular piece is called After. And I call it cataloging the calamity. If you have ever been in any type of abusive relationship, marriage, this will resonate for you. And I want you to take care of yourselves. I apologize for those who did not get a trigger warning for the sexual abuse in that poem. I was not aware. But moving forward, I will make you aware if there is something that could trigger you. And this is going to touch on divorce. And I don't think that there is anything in this particular one that directly speaks to the abuse, but we're gonna walk through this together. Be mindful of what you can tolerate, and I totally understand if you gotta step away for a moment. After the divorce, you evacuate the broken home, a forest fire. Grab what you love most, find the nearest exit, run as far as your lungs can carry you. There is nothing left living inside. Fallen idol. You ever visit the altar of a God you once worshipped? Similar to visiting your childhood home, decades later, the paint is chipped. There are bars on the windows barring the exits. No one makes it out alive. No one inside is safe. Everything trembles at your gate. Walking dead girl risen. Pass through the narrow hallways. You, larger than the life they planned. Ceilings were always this low. Hard to tell. Bent back then. Standing tall now. holographic and haunting. Last tomb on the left holds no horror. Roll the stone away. Reveal the moth-eaten grave clothes, musty scent of decay, a room I once died in, a crypt I clawed out of. The last time I saw the God I used to worship, his paint was chipping. Not enough salvation to raise a fruit fly foundation, exposed, termite kingdom on his tongue, musty scent of decay. He a house I once died in, abandoned, condemned, worshiping himself. Cataloging the calamity. This particular piece happened in real time. There are dates that go with each of these stanzas. I had no idea what I was building. I was trying to survive. 11/23/2016. We cannot simply court death. It is a complicated seduction to draw an end to oneself. I paint exit across every mill, but still haven't found a way out. This marriage is a mannequin on a merry-go-round, stuck in a never-ending spin cycle. Not even gravity can hold on to you. 11/25/2016. We'd already gone too far to hear the chorus of impossibilities. May, December romances don't happen to black girls like me, to fat girls like me. We didn't make sense to anyone. Somehow, we felt like a spiritual equation that could add up. Fast forward 3 years, solve for X. 12/9/2016. I watch him watching me. I smile like forbidden fruit beckoning. He leans closer as I lick my lips. He snags a piece of fried fish off my plate. The submerged catfish is now a cheap metaphor. I am caught somewhere between the first and second swan dive into the hot sauce. 12/10/2016. He had the mercy to swallow the next nugget whole. I am trying to tame the tide swelling beneath my thighs. He says all the right things. Is my perpetual amen corner. He is about as stable as a lace front in a hurricane. Girl, walk away. I know this brand of self-sabotage too well. Exit. 12/11/2016. I want to answer the phone every time. Call everyone every day. Get on the next flight every next time. There is always a next time. I do not own arms enough to hold them all. I have stretched myself, taut, burning at both ends and all points in between. All my poems are about this fire. 12/12/2016. I haven't figured out how to dismantle this house. This house has figured out how to dismantle me. It is a silent thief. Takes exactly what I need just before I need it. Cackles while it watches me rage and weep. Once I am thoroughly broken, the objects reappear in places I already checked. 12/13/2016. This is psychological warfare. He totals the car, breaks the shower curtain, spills coffee on white carpets. Everything I love, he breaks, takes tsunamis. I eviscerate him with words. I keep score, a record of wrongdoings. I tally up the losses. I have stopped covering his multitude of sins. 12/17/2016. I have run out of ways to say exhausted. I've stopped saying anything. Silence is not a shield, but mimics serenity. Everything is still under cover of darkness. When the light of truth floods the kitchen of our broken home, the issues scatter and scurry into corners so as not to be examined too closely. 12/21/2016. I craved fried hot dogs and Roman noodles for 3 days. There is a mountain of food. The most expensive delicacies are overflowing in this house, and I want the cheapest cocktail of toxic available in mass quantities. Did I do this with my life? Did I overlook all the best men for the cheapest one in the store? 12/22/2016. The days and nights all blend together. We feel like a beginning and an end all at once. I wander aimlessly through our home. The to-do lists don't get done. I sleep through whole days. Nothing I eat makes me feel better or worse. This is purgatory. Stasis. Everything in between. 12/23/2016. Her profile on FetLife says, like a latte for lesbians or a seasonal Ben & Jerry's flavor for Pride Week. Her smile spreads slowly. Happy hour begins at the hotel and the bar is abuzz. We decide to take our drinks upstairs. I unpack the ropes while she lotions her wrists and ankles. 12/24/2016. The online profile says, PayPig seeks Dom. He is looking to be financially dominated by a woman of color. He says this assuages his guilt. He has a list of ways to serve his mistress. I tell him nothing on his list appeals to me. He drifts off into cyberspace in search of more severe punishment that will eclipse his privilege. 12/25/2016. Christmas in our home is like a wind-up doll. It has all the moving parts, but there is no life in it. In the hallway of our laughter, there is distant weeping. We dress for the disaster to come, invite spectators to our tragic comedy. Everyone looks the opposite of how we feel. 12/26/2016. It's 5 a.m. and I am frying kosher hot dogs again. I figure if you're going to give in to the cravings, at least mitigate the damage. He has stopped eating sweets and drinking soda. He says he is going to be better. I consider that his best may never be good enough. I buy him fried Twinkies. 12/27/2016. I don't believe in America anymore. I did once. I don't make friends with strangers anymore. Everyone's a stranger. All the old safe spaces are suspect now. I'm mapping out the exits, trying on the word expatriate for size. It hugs my curves in the most flattering ways. I got passports for Christmas.